A world-renowned surgeon was thrown into the most violent prison unit in the state. 30 minutes later, the guards couldn't believe what they were seeing through the cell bars. The metal doors slammed shut behind Dr. Marcus Chen, with a sound that echoed through his bones. The pristine surgeon's hands that had saved hundreds of lives now wore steel handcuffs. A mistake. A terrible, devastating mistake. One falsified testimony from a vengeful colleague, and his entire life had shattered in a courtroom. "Welcome to D Block, Doctor," the guard sneered, shoving him forward. "Hope you got good insurance." The unit smelled of sweat, blood, and desperation. 40 of the state's most dangerous inmates. Marcus stumbled into the common area, and immediately predatory eyes locked onto him. Fresh meat, soft hands, easy target. Well, a massive man with scars covering his arms stood up. "Tank," the other inmates called him. "What we got here, you lost, pretty boy?" Marcus's heart hammered. He'd spent his life in operating rooms, not fighting for survival. But something in him refused to cower. He'd helped people his entire life. Even here, even now, maybe that's all he could do. "I'm a surgeon," Marcus said quietly, scanning the room. His trained eyes noticed everything. The man in the corner clutching his side, wincing with every breath. The younger inmate with an infected cut on his forearm, red lines spreading toward his heart. The elderly prisoner wheezing, his lips tinged blue. Tank laughed, a cruel sound. "A surgeon? In here? Man, that man is dying," Marcus interrupted, pointing to the wheezing prisoner. "Pneumonia, maybe worse. And that kid has sepsis starting. He's got maybe 2 days before it kills him." The laughter died. Tank's eyes narrowed. "So what? So I can help them." Marcus held up his cuffed hands. "If you let me." Silence blanketed the room. The guards watched through the reinforced glass, hands on their batons, ready for violence. They'd seen this before. New inmates getting torn apart within minutes. But something unexpected happened. The young inmate with the infected arm spoke up, his voice weak. "Carlos, that's me, man. It hurts real bad, burns like fire." Tank stared at Marcus for a long moment. Behind the hardened criminal was something else, a flicker of humanity that prison hadn't completely extinguished. His own brother had died from an infection in lockup. Preventable. Ignored. "You try anything, Doctor," Tank growled, "and you won't leave this room alive." Marcus nodded. "Take these cuffs off. I need to work." For the next 30 minutes, the guards watched in stunned disbelief as the violent unit transformed. Marcus moved from prisoner to prisoner with nothing but his knowledge, his hands, and improvised materials. He showed Carlos how to elevate his arm, explained infection to him like a patient, not a criminal. He helped the elderly man with breathing exercises, recognizing it wasn't pneumonia but a heart condition, and instructed others on how to keep him stable. He examined Tank's old gunshot wound that had never healed properly, explaining why it still caused pain years later. With gentle pressure and techniques, he provided relief Tank hadn't felt in 5 years. Word spread through the cells. Men started asking questions about their pain, their scars, their bodies they'd learned to ignore. Marcus treated each one with the same respect he'd given his wealthy patients. No judgment, no fear, just care. The lead guard, Captain Rodriguez, radioed the warden. "Sir, you need to see this. The new guy, the surgeon. He's not fighting, he's healing them." By the time the warden arrived, D Block had gone silent. Not the silence of violence, but of reverence. 40 of the most dangerous men in the state were listening to a surgeon explain basic health care, asking questions, helping each other. Tank stood beside Marcus, arms crossed, now his unlikely protector. "Anyone touches the doc, they answer to me." The warden entered the unit, his polished shoes clicking on the concrete. He'd built a career on harsh punishment, on breaking spirits. But what he saw now shook something loose in his chest, a reminder of his own father, a doctor who'd believed everyone deserved care. "Dr. Chen," the warden said slowly, "your case is under review." New evidence came to light this morning. The charges, they're being dropped. Marcus's knees almost buckled. Freedom, his life back, but he looked around the room, at Carlos, who needed proper antibiotics, at the elderly man who needed a cardiologist, at Tank, who'd shown him mercy when he could have shown violence. "I'd like to come back," Marcus said quietly. "Once a week. These men need medical attention, real attention." The warden studied him for a long moment, then nodded. "I think that can be arranged." As Marcus walked out of D Block that day, 40 voices called out, "Thanks, Doc. If you believe everyone deserves dignity and care, no matter where they are, hit that like button." This is why we tell these stories. 3 months later, Dr. Marcus Chen ran the first ever prison medical clinic in the state. D Block's violence dropped by 60%. Carlos was released, infection-free, and got a job. Tank became the clinic's volunteer coordinator, using his influence to keep peace. And Marcus? He found his calling again. Not in fancy operating rooms, but in concrete cells where the forgotten lived, where kindness was the rarest medicine of all. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe to Everyday Kindness Stories. We share tales that remind us, good people still exist in this world. You just need to look a little closer, sometimes in the most unexpected places. Your compassion matters. Your story matters. Stay kind, stay hopeful. We'll see you in the next one, where another soul waits to be seen. Every human being deserves dignity and care, regardless of their circumstances. One act of genuine compassion in the darkest place can transform not just one life, but an entire community. The measure of our humanity isn't how we treat those who can reward us. It's how we treat those who have nothing to offer but their suffering.